enjoy the journey or enjoy the process. Yeah. I know myself, I'm always racing for the next thing or, not really enjoying the here and now. And I think just hearing your words and hearing you say that really resonates with me.
Yeah, it is true. In fact, one of our lessons this year with our 2nd through 6th graders is reflecting on the progress that they make. So in the early years of Bio Girls, people viewed us as a running club.
Yeah.
Because we incorporate physical activity in primarily running right now. And I understand why people did, because that's what they would visually see us out doing. Sure. And we were always a part of the Fargo Marathon 5K. And the last year that we ran that, we had 500 girls running.
That's huge.
So we had all these girls in white Bio Girl shirts, and
incredible.
It was great awareness.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we implement is these at-home workouts, being accountable for training on your own and being motivated to do that. One of our lessons, week 11, is a 12-week program. So week 11, we actually do a ladder of progress. And we go back and we look, what did we do week 1? Well, week 1, we don't even run. We just do like some circuity type games, and so then week 3, we did our first run, which was about a mile. And that was hard, wasn't it? But you did it, and so we're walking them through this progress ladder towards this final event. And our goal is to show them they're prepared. So it's the scary 5K. I mean, think about these little 7th graders with these itty bitty little legs out running this 5K. We all say, first night, if I said, you're going to go run a 5K,
you'd be like, heck no.
Yeah. But look at everything you've done. And I think that's the goal, is that they practice these skills that are so transferable to situations that they'll encounter, or maybe risks that they'll have the opportunity to take later in life, and think back and say, oh my gosh, look at how I got there in Bio Girls. I can take that same skill or same technique and apply that to whatever situation I'm experiencing.
Something else in my life.
I love that. And something we have actually talked about with a couple of our guests on the show is being uncomfortable and knowing how to push through those uncomfortable feelings, which I'm sure running that first mile, it's very mental. And it's funny, with coaching, we would make our dancers run, and they're like, we're not a track team. Why are we running? This is insane. But I learned from my experience is just getting through that mental block prepared me in so many different aspects of life that I was like, man, I could run 3 miles, not trained, and it was all just whether or not you told yourself you could or you couldn't. Same thing with now in work. I mean, when we're faced with challenges, it's so easy to tell yourself, I can't do that. I'm not going to succeed. Or you can go and say, I can do this. And I think those physical activities and training is so impactful for that mindset.
It is. And for the life skills side of it, but also, when we're talking mental wellness, like to work out that stress and anxiety, it's proven. It's proven it works. And so we're introducing kids to non-competitive physical activity where every ability is celebrated. So we have girls that walk, run. We even had a little girl in Bismarck last year in a wheelchair, and she completed the 5K.
Oh, that's so
rolling
amazing.
Herself in the wheelchair.
That's incredible.
A very tear-jerking moment.
Oh my gosh.
But we're now introducing and diversifying our activity types. So we piloted yoga and CrossFit in 2019. We delayed rolling that out to scale, obviously during the pandemic because gyms were closed. But now we're rolling those out. We're piloting self-defense.
Oh, awesome.
That's so cool. We've talked about kind of getting involved with that just because I think it would be so insightful. And
what a great life skill.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna roll that out for the 5th and 6th grade age group. My middle daughter has found a love for American Ninja Warrior. And actually my little one, she's 7 now, she is doing it as well. And so we're gonna do a an obstacle racing
awesome.
Bio Girls session later in the fall. And so
that isn't, I think that's so cool that you guys do put such a strong value on physical activity, just because I don't know if you've seen it, but I've definitely seen it within just at the coaching level, how few kids are participating in any sport.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear about sports teams that are having to join with other schools and cut their programs completely because they're not getting that number of attendance. Yeah. And so those kids aren't seeing the value in physical activity. Yeah. So it's great that you have that.
Yeah, and I think it ties back to the nature of sports now.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have the support from your family or the financial means to be able to go to tournaments in Minneapolis 3 times a month.
Right.
You're not going to be able to be involved in sports. And so from a young age, you're already weeding these kids out. And I'm very passionate about the topic because I think it's leading to more screen time.
Yep.
And a
totally
big increase in obesity in our kids.
Yes.
In fact, we have a pediatrician who serves on one of our advisory committees, and she called me last fall and said, Missy, the pandemic is not only wreaking havoc on the mental health of our kids, but the physical health is suffering tremendously. And she gave the example of a 5 or 6 year old who had gained 50 pounds in 6 months.
Oh my gosh.
So my daughter at the time was 6 and she didn't even weigh 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, and she said too, she's like, parents are just trying to make it go, right? They're so pressured and stressed. They're working from home on Zoom calls all day. Their kid is trying to do homes or online school. Yeah. So what do you do to pacify them? You give them a screen or turn on the TV and give them a snack.
Yeah.
Instead of shoving them out the door to go play in the backyard.
Right.
And so I think the numbers that are going to be so frightening coming out of COVID are the mental and physical health issues in kids and adults.
Yeah.
That I totally didn't think about.
I didn't even really think about that. I know the mental health, absolutely, but the physical as well.
Yeah, and you think about all of just in the pandemic year, things are now starting to pick back up and sports are happening. But when the pandemic hit, we had over 600 girls already participating in Bio Girls. So we went virtual within 2 weeks. We were up and running on virtual. And we had so many parents say, thank you. You're the only program that's continued.
Oh,
really?
Awesome.
So we kept the girls engaged through as well as we could through virtual Zoom sessions, but then, continued to encourage them to train for the 5K. And then we did our 5K virtually last year, and we had really, really great engagement with that.
So was that typically in May then? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. And then so everything is set for this May, correct?
Yep. So we're doing virtual again this year, although with for the Bio Girls in Fargo-Moorhead, we are going to have little pods of groups running together, so it feels a little bit more like a race atmosphere.
Yeah.
But for the community, it's still a virtual race this year.
Sure. Okay.
Oh, yeah. But that's awesome. And
little by little, it'll get back to
next year. It will be in person.
Yes. But you know what? It's cool that they that they had a resource through such a dark and tough time where there wasn't resources for everybody. So that's awesome that you were able to provide that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I haven't talked about Angie yet, but Angie is an employee of Bio Girls now as well. But she has been by my side since day one. She was a mentor at the first site that I ran, and she was a stay-at-home mom, and then both her kids were in school, and she was looking for some kind of work, but she still wanted to be there when they went to school, when they got home. Yeah. And so I asked her to help me with some of the back-end administrative stuff while I was still working full-time. And so she worked for Bio Girls for 5 years without getting paid a penny.
Wow.
Because she's as passionate as I am about it. But I bring her up because when the pandemic hit, I think I was still in shock mode. And she kept pushing, like, we've got to go virtual. We've got to go virtual. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And she's like, we've got to do it, Missy. And so I give her all the credit for, pushing to make that happen. And then I was like, yes, we do. And then,
then it took off.
Then we made it happen. Yeah. But I mean, we finished the spring seasons virtually, but then we had sites back up and running in June. We have a lot of rural bio-girls programming that happens, and a lot of rural communities didn't even have COVID cases until the fall. And so we just sent them all the COVID precautionary sanitizer and masks and all the things that they needed to make it happen. And it was, again, our incredible volunteers saw the need, and even more once the pandemic hit. So made it happen.
That is awesome.
That's so awesome.
So what is like a normal, let's pretend COVID isn't a thing. What does a normal day look like for these girls?
For the girls or for us at the office?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're schoolgirls, so they get up, they go to school.
Yeah.
At the session, it is a large group session.
Okay.
So this year, because of COVID, we had to make a bunch of changes because we didn't know what was going to be possible in the spring. So we're planning all through last summer and fall for the spring.
Sure.
So we made a change to our delivery model where our groups are typically 40 girls and 12 to 14 adults.
Okay.
So fairly large, right? And with group size restrictions, we just didn't know if we were going to be able to do that, especially in Fargo-Moorhead or in our urban communities. So we switched the model to be what we're calling squads. So 10 girls and 3 volunteers.
Okay.
So obviously there's a lot more squads to hit our projected number than there was sites. So we had to make a bunch of changes on the back end for that, but also to accommodate so many more leaders. We had to adjust how we delivered lessons.
Sure.
And so we actually brought our mascot and our logo. Her name is Faith. We brought her to life in videos.
Cool.
And so,
so cool.
It's been really fun. The girls have responded really well to it, and actually makes the job of the leader easier because they're not preparing and teaching a lesson. They're showing the video. So we have half the lessons have videos, and the other half have pen pal letters from Faith.
Oh my gosh,
and it's all about her life and, things that happen at school and with her friends and, fun things that she did to spread kindness. And, so all very relevant to what the actual participants are experiencing in real life. Right. And so that's been really fun. So that's the large group lesson. And then we break into small groups where that's where our mentors come into play, all of our volunteers. They are assigned a small group, which remain the same for the 12 weeks, so that they really can get connected with their peers and with the mentor. And then lots of time is spent on either discussion or an activity related to the topic that was introduced. And then we finish the session with the physical activity piece of it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Just
I
jam
want to be a
packed.
volunteer.
I want to go there. That
sounds so fun. It is very common for us to get feedback from our volunteers. That is, the thing they look forward to during the week because it fills their own bucket, and they learn as much and get as much from the lessons as the girls do.
Right. Yeah. So is it every day then, or how does that, once a week?
Once a week for 12 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And the sessions are 90 minutes.
Oh.
And it's all turnkey, so we make it as easy as possible for our volunteers. So if you're a mentor, you basically read through the lesson and, do a little bit of preparation ahead of time, but then you show up and do your thing.
Do your thing and leave. Oh, that's so awesome.
That is incredible.
I think I'm going to volunteer.
Yes.
Yes. We can talk about that at the end because I think this would be a great platform to, get more volunteers.
Yeah.
So, but you're so busy. I'm so inspired that you left your 6-figure job to follow your passion, to blaze your own trail. So how do you stay motivated, in between being a mom, a wife, all the other hats that you wear? How do you keep yourself motivated?
I love what I do, number one, so it's easy to stay motivated. But, from that time that I left, we now have, there's 5 of us employees now. We will probably be 7 employees by fall. And I love my team and feel a sense of obligation towards them. I mean, I'm not a business owner as a nonprofit. I don't own the business, but as the leader of the organization, you know, I have this sense of responsibility to take care of them. So they motivate me, and they are so good at their job. And so they're challenging me just by doing their job so well. I believe that we're just scratching the surface in terms of impact. I mean, our numbers are impressive in terms of volume, but I want to see community level change. And so instead of measuring the change in each individual girl, I want to measure what is the impact BioGirls is having on Fargo-Moorhead. You know, let's figure out how to do that here. Then let's figure out, you know, the community level change we're having in Bismarck, in Grand Forks, you know, in all of these other communities. And so there's still a lot of work to be done. You know, I'm not satisfied yet.
Which is awesome.
I think that's a good thing, though.
Yeah.
You know, there's always something to strive for and improve.
Yeah, and I am a driver. Like I come to learn that I am visionary. People used to tell me that all the time. They call me visionary and fearless, and not fearless in a reckless, endanger my life kind of way like my husband is, but like I'm not afraid to fail. And to put myself out there, and now that we have the people to do the work internally, like I can start to see that vision, the visionary side of me coming out even more. You know, in fact, one of the scariest things I've done recently is to assemble this program advisory committee. These people have credentials that scare the, can I swear?
Yes.
Out of me.
Really?
Yeah. So, Dr. Lauren Schaefer, who is on the research team at Stanford that specializes in body image and eating disorders. Dr. Beth Salafia, who heads up the body image lab at NDSU. A pediatrician, a therapist who works at the Village, a behavior interventionist from West Fargo Public Schools. I mean, it goes on and on.
That is incredible.
And so great. This is something that I had talked about for several years and just didn't have the capacity to really assemble and then lead it effectively. But now this year it was one of my goals to get that done, and I had individual conversations with them all, was connected through different people within my network. And then I had to run the first meeting. And I'm not kidding you, so this is really funny. So I sent out everybody's bio ahead of time so we didn't have to do long, drawn-out introductions. But I asked everyone kind of an icebreaker question, which was, what did you originally go to college for? And then what did your degree end up being?
Oh,
that's a good one.
6 of them all went to school for psychology and now have at least a master's, if not a PhD in psychology. So I'm sitting there thinking, and I actually said it, I'm like, so what you're telling me is you're going to psychoanalyze me this whole meeting. We talked about intimidating.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But it went really great, and you know, there was nothing to be afraid of. They were there. They knew their purpose. They gave great feedback. They're actually helping advise on the teen program. But it was scary. It was,
I bet,
totally scary and intimidating because I don't have a psychology degree.
Right.
I mean, I don't have a degree in what I'm doing at all. I have an MBA, so I, learned how to run a business. But like in terms of, mental health and things like that, that's not my background.
Right.
And so it was scary.
Huge testament to you, though, that all of these people with those credentials who saw your vision and who felt, yes, what I went to school for and what I am currently doing in my career needs to be helped in this setting.
Yeah.
And to be that support system for you in the organization.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's a great way to look at it. I met with, we added another member. She'll be on our meeting next week. She's actually one of our Bio Girls leaders, and she had to come into the office to pick up something that was left out of her supply box. And so I started talking to her when she came in, and she's like, this is what I want to spend my free time doing? Because I'm as passionate about this as you are. And if that means we can help grow Bio Girls and diversify it and reach more girls, that's so rewarding. And so all these, it's all females. They are taking time out of their busy schedules, adding something additional to their schedules for our cause. So it's very humbling.
It is incredible. And it's very cool that you're so open to wanting people to share in this success of Bio Girls and be a part of it and feel like they're making an impact. Because I think everybody at the end of the day does want to leave an impact or some type of mark on this world. And you're making such a easy avenue for people to do that. And
something so much bigger than just yourself or even just the Fargo-Moorhead, North Dakota community. You know, how can you make a positive impact on everybody that you meet? And I even think about that in our jobs, Saray. You know, we get the opportunity to talk to so many different people every day and every week. And, you know, even if they don't become a client of ours, we still have the opportunity to brighten their day or, you know, hear about their
help
family
their
or
business.
however you can.
So, it's really awesome. But, I mean, you have so many statistics, and 87.5% of participants' parents saw really great effects in their daughter's life from attending Bio Girls, which is an outstanding stat, outstanding number. And there's got to be so many scenarios or stories or situations that are just forever ingrained in your brain as success stories. So what is one of those that you could share with us?
Yeah, you know, I wish I had more, actually. That's one of the things that we're really trying to figure out. How do we hear more? I hear, you know, we'll get random emails or even text messages from time to time from parents. A lot of it revolves, honestly, at this age around friendships and navigating unhealthy friendships with the girls, which is really fascinating to me. You know, so a girl who's supposedly a best friend is actually a bully and really making, you know, their friend feel bad about themselves. And so we talk a lot about healthy relationships at Bio Girls and friendships and what it means to be a true friend and help girls like spot those red flags. And, you know, so we get a lot of feedback from parents on, well, my daughter actually recognized this and now we're working on how to, you know, distance from said friend. So that's one of the big things. Another one is, we got an email last year from a mom in Bismarck saying that the program was just really transformative for her daughter. She struggles with anxiety and depression, and because of those mental health issues, isn't involved in really anything else. And so she found her niche with Bio Girls and just truly loves the program. That's one of the things that I think is really fun. Is a lot of times we'll ask at the beginning of the program, how many of you asked your mom to sign you up for Bio Girls? And some of the older girls who have been in it before will raise their hand. But the vast majority raise their hand when I ask, how many of your parents signed you up and told you were going to Bio Girls? But what happens is that at the end of the year, we ask the girls a couple of simple questions. One of them being, did you love Bio Girls? Yes. What did you like least about Bio Girls? Running.
Something so minor, which is okay, you know.
Do you want to be in Bio Girls again? Yes. And so that tells me they get so much more out of it. And to them, it's not the running club. In fact, they prefer not to do it. But, you know, for them, they see the value in it themselves. One of the hard things with getting the feedback and the stories that these girls are, you know, as young as 7, and so they can't really vocalize. You know, it's almost like when they're nervous or have anxiety about something, they say, my stomach hurts. Like they can't express what they're truly feeling. And we find that with the feedback too. So a lot of the feedback comes from the parents.
Because they're really able to take an outside look and understand those changes that have made from start to finish.
And, you know, it's we hear from a handful. I wish we heard from all 87.5% of them. But we do a parent feedback survey, and some of the areas where they see the biggest growth is understanding their emotions and being able to control their reaction to their emotions. They get along better with their siblings. They're more positive overall.
Oh, great.
And then they take more of an active role in, being healthy.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. All those things are so important.
And like doing it for yourself too. That's so great.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. So I know, in this day and age, we talked a lot about, obviously it's kind of, a lot of jobs are male dominated, Do you guys ever teach young girls, you can do anything that you want, you can go for whatever your dream job is? Do you see that a lot?
Yeah, we do have a leadership track, and a lot of it is based around taking healthy risks. Sure. So again, not being afraid to put yourself out there. If there's something you truly would love to do, give it a try. So this is actually a really fun story. A couple years ago, one of our lessons was that breaking the barrier, right? And so we actually built walls out of cardboard boxes and had the girls physically knock them down. They loved it.
That is so fun.
But, so I got a text message from a mom several months later, and it was a picture of Addie, who was a BioGirls participant, and she was in a football uniform with holding a football. And I still get teary-eyed. I've told this story a million times. I still get teary-eyed. Addie had tried out for the football team that fall because of BioGirls.
Oh my gosh!
That's incredible.
I'm literally gonna cry.
I know. I felt that way so many times today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
And she scored a touchdown that night, and she came over to the sidelines, and this is where I cried. She said, "Missy, you have to text, or Mom, you have to text Missy and tell her I scored a touchdown."
Oh my gosh.
And so, I mean, it's still one of my favorite stories to tell, because she had wanted to play football, and she did not have the courage until she came to BioGirls.
That is incredible.
That's huge.
Just to have that confidence to go into something that you're never told you can't. But
you're
society
the only girl
tells
out
you,
there,
if this isn't a sport for you.
Right.
But nobody tells you can either.
Right. That's exactly it. Oh my gosh.
That's so true.
That is incredible. And I love that the second that touchdown happened, thought to you.
And what's interesting is a lot of times we talk about this as volunteers at our sites. It's the girls that you don't think are taking anything away from the program that really do. Like, I would have never guessed that with Addie.
Wow.
And, it's usually the quiet girls who you just are like pulling every word out of, if you even get a word out of them. But we see a lot of growth over the 12 weeks too. Once the girls feel comfortable and understand that it's a safe place, then we start to see them come out of their shells, and then that transfers into other areas of their life too.
It has got to be so rewarding for you as it is beneficial for these girls. So how can people get involved and be a part of this amazing movement?
Yeah, we have several volunteer opportunities. So in existing locations, we are always looking for mentors. So people to step up and say, I'll commit to the 12 weeks and I'll commit to being cheerleaders and friends to these girls. We, in locations, in communities where we don't have a location, we're always open to expansion. So right now we're in North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. And so if you're in one of those states and want to bring BioGirls to your community, you can do that.
Sure.
It's all on our website at biogirls.org/get-involved.
Oh, perfect.
We, in town, in Fargo-Moorhead, we have several committee opportunities. So we do 2 major fundraising events during the year, our race being one of them. It's coming up on May 15th. And then we do our gala, which is September 30th this year. And so we always are looking for kind of roll your sleeves up, get it done kind of people to be a part of those committees. our board, we, that's less often that we're looking for people to fill board roles, but we like to have a pipeline. So if you have great business acumen and, are kind of strategic and visionary, that would be a great fit for you as well.
So what are your social channels? Where can people find you on there?
Yep. So we're on Facebook and Instagram at BioGirls Inc.
Okay.
Facebook, that's our corporate page on Facebook, but we have pages for all of our community locations so that you can stay up to date at what's happening with BioGirls in your location.
Cool.
So, Fergus Falls, for example, has their own Facebook page, but at BioGirls Inc. is our corporate page. Okay. We are on TikTok too.
Oh, awesome.
Nice. We maybe have 4 videos out there. We made some really silly ones.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. If you know someone who wants to be the face of BioGirls on TikTok, you just let me know. Because I am not the right.
Keep your ears open.
Oh my gosh.
No, but we'll link everything so it's super easy for people to find. But this was just right up our alley, and our whole purpose here too is to impact other people positively. And so hearing everything that you had to say was amazing and inspiring. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes, this was incredible. Yeah. We can't wait to follow along and support BioGirls and just get to see the amazing change that you are making, not only in these women, but in the communities you guys are in.
Well, thank you. And I always have to end it with, it's not just me. I was maybe that spark that started the fire, but 700 women, 5 incredible employees, and just an army of people behind the movement. So
incredible. Well, we're behind it too, and we're so happy that we were able to chat with you.
Thank you.